From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Steve Milton.
It's Wednesday, May 29th. This is Ticats Today, and I'm Steve Milton. Well, it's milestone day at the McMaster campus, the last of the two-day power practices with final cuts coming probably Saturday morning after Friday's exhibition game in Guelph against the Argos. So in this episode, we'll go all Beatles and take a long and winding road through a few topics, including how head coach Scott Milanovich viewed training camp as a whole, the Ticats welcoming back receiver Steven Dunbar Jr., who practiced for the first time today, a quick look at the new Stipley experience, which will debut at the home opener, and an introduction to the man who will likely start the regular season as Simoni Lawrence's replacement at Will Linebacker. Now, when the practice play clock wound down late this morning, it suddenly hit everyone that other than a walkthrough tomorrow, training camp is effectively over. Game Friday, and those who survive Saturday's cuts will then prepare to move back to Tim Hortons Field for regular practice schedules and a flight to Calgary midweek for Friday's season opener against the Stampeders. Milanovich talked a lot about a good culture of support and accountability having already been in place long before he even arrived here last year, and how it's continued with the players that GM Ed Hervey and President of Football Operations Orlando Steinauer brought in. Now, there was a very spirited competition for a lot of jobs and some very frayed tempers. But despite mostly very hot weather in all of training camp, there was just one fight. There are usually a lot more than that because players are jammed together, essentially 24/7, and livelihoods are on the line.
We talk about doing the things that are going to help the team. And one of the things that we say, or I've said it numerous times, is, everybody in this world has the right to fail. But when you're part of a team, you don't have the right to make decisions that cause the rest of us to fail. And we believe in that. And it was reiterated after that fight. I understand things are going to get rough, but we have to understand what our actions are going to do with the rest of the team. And I think for the most part, our guys can grasp that and embrace that.
Hervey and his player personnel staff are still bringing in new guys, and the one who arrived here today will be very familiar to Ticats Nation. Wide receiver Steven Dunbar Jr. broke into the CFL in the same year as Tim White and often played beside him and Speedy Banks in 2021. He was an all-star, and in 2021, he was second to White with 1,000 yards receiving. He'll help a younger budding star like Shamar Bridges adapt more quickly to the CFL game. Now, White was ecstatic to have Dunbar back, and the feeling apparently is mutual.
Yeah, man, obviously Tim is doing great things in his career. It's very motivational, it's inspirational, and it's cool to see. We came in together, and just to see the things that he's doing with his career, it's inspiring me. And I want it to be around that type of energy, you know what I mean?
Milanovich says Dunbar likely doesn't play Friday, and they'll try to make sure he's up to game speed for next weekend in Calgary, because other players have been going for quite a while, and he hasn't. And he, Hervey, and Dunbar himself spoke of Dunbar being a quiet leader who points things out by example.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of film on him. Even when I was helping out last year in the offseason, I watched a lot of film on Steven. There's things that we've taken from his style of play. When he was even in Edmonton, he was doing a 5-yard waggle, which is what we're doing now, that I just think is more efficient. I think he's explosive. I think he's got size. Everything, I don't know him well, but everything I've heard about him is he's quiet. It just comes to work every single day, and I think that fits who we are.
Dunbar, who was a college star at Houston, originally signed with Hamilton in 2020, but opted out when the CFL canceled its season. Then he resigned again at the end of the year, and he played in 2021 and 2022 for the team. He caught 6 passes in that Grey Cup in 2021, including one for a touchdown that gave the Ticats a halftime lead. His 63 yards and those 6 catches led all receivers on both teams.
Yeah, man, that game was, Ticat Nation really showed up for us. I think that game was definitely one of the greatest games I ever played in. Definitely felt the energy in the crowd, and it was good to get going, man. I wish we could have got a win, but it was definitely a good game to be a part of.
Here are some of the other things we're taking away from practice today. Taylor Powell took all the major A reps and will lead the team on Friday. And the Ticats have been very busy in bringing players in for looks for the future, but also for the present. One is another big receiver, Desmond Patman, who played in 10 games with the NFL Indianapolis coach, so Milanovich, who was there, of course, is familiar with them. He's 6'4", 225, and only 25 years old. Milanovich again.
Yeah, Des, I was with him in Indy. A lot of experience for a guy that's still only 25 years old. He's big, he's fast, he's tough. He can run after the catch. It's another one really, I think there's a lot of talent there. A guy we have to catch up to speed. He's only been here for a couple days, and we're trying to work on that now.
Elsewhere, newly signed defensive end Darius Morgang is getting looks on the still crowded defensive line. And with two offensive left tackles, Joel Figueroa and Jordan Murray, still hurt, first-year Ticats Brendan Bordner and Quentin Barrow are still getting the A reps. Michael Ezek is still the leader in the true tight end department, but the Ticats are also going to use some hybrid players there, fullbacks and true offensive linemen. The stop of Robert Panabaker, the Western Mustang, keeps rising because of his versatility. He can play Sam linebacker and safety, and a thunderous hit in Saturday's game against Ottawa certainly didn't hurt his chances. The punting competition is heightened even more with the addition of this year's first-round global draft left-footer Nick Constantino, the Australian from Texas A&M, arriving to challenge returnees Bailey Flint and Corey Vedvek. Destin Talbert and Ray Wilburn continue to get all the big reps at linebacker, flanking hard-nosed Kyle Wilson in the middle. He'll start there, and, he's deserved that chance. He's been there for 3 years now. So Wilburn, who grew up in Lansing, Michigan, was a national junior college champion before transferring to Ball State, and he knows how to make a splash. His very first interception in Division I football was against Notre Dame, and he is aware, yes, that he is replacing a legend.
Yeah, I'm hip. I'm hip to who that guy was. 21. Yes, indeed. Simoni Lawrence. I wouldn't say pressure. I put pressure on myself every day, to be the best I can. But at the same time, he was there last year, and I got to do my best to fill that role because he was a big part of the Hamilton community.
And the Ticats announced some details of the new Stipley experience in the South End Plaza that will feature live music before every game and at halftime on a stage in the Stipley area. $5 beers and $6 cottage springs for an hour after the game open. There's 10 food and beverage kiosks, retail booths, lots of hammers to celebrate the iconic nickname. And you can get all the details at ticats.ca/THF. The THF, of course, meaning Tim Hortons Field. We'll talk more about all things Hammer and the Ticats in tomorrow's episode. Thanks to all of you for listening and viewing. And for more news from training camp, please visit ticats.ca/training camp. That's ticats.ca/training camp.
This has been Ticats Today with Steve Milton. Catch it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.